Timothy!
Yes, sir.
How classic's your banter?
Oh, I think you know quite well, sir. Very classic.
Hey guys.
Hello.
So this is episode number
28.
28.
Yes.
So I thought it would be fun to discuss.
Are we doing a prologue?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just diving right in.
This is part of it.
Okay,
This is
keep
part
going.
of it. 28 is an even number.
Isn't it?
Now, this is an interesting topic of discussion
Yes.
that I feel we should have.
I'm following you.
Odd or even numbers? And I'm dead serious.
As in, which do I prefer?
Which do you prefer? And what's your reasoning? I want to know.
I feel like this is like when you're like in year 7 and this is your first ever debate and you're given it a topic and you've never done a speech in your life and you're like, I don't know, is globalization good? To be honest with you, buddy, I don't think I've given it much thought. Maybe even? I feel like...
Maybe even.
What scenario are we talking? Like,
I feel like mine is definitely odd.
Okay.
All
Why,
the way.
why Brenton?
And I'll tell you why.
Tell me why, buddy.
I was born on an odd number.
This sounds like a
Okay.
prophecy.
I was so the month, the year,
Yes.
and the date I was born are all odd numbers.
Okay.
I like this sounds superstitious, and it is.
Okay.
But all like the good years I've had, like when you like surmise a year and go, that's a
like
great
good year, bad year.
It's always been an odd year.
Oh, really?
And all the shit years I've had have always been even ones.
Started the podcast with Nathan, 2018. Shit, yeah.
This is going to be a terrible episode.
Oh, no.
You want to know how I know?
How do you know?
It's 28, bro.
Oh, no.
Yep.
I think when it comes to good years, all of them have been even numbers. I think 2012 was a good year. Actually, 2013 was a good year too. 2016 was a good year. Actually, yeah, maybe most of them are odd. Maybe we're polar opposites, Brenton. Maybe when you get the good year, you pass the baton.
Yes.
And I get it.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
We work together. It's a team effort.
It
but
is a
like,
team
but
effort.
we both can't like have a good year.
No, and it's like maybe we're like bitter
That's
enemies.
problematic
like,
for this podcast.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, we both have a shit year. Like we're just playing it into the podcast. Is this like a thing where like when you do like your draws and that kind of stuff, you get like odd numbers and stuff?
It's always odd. I don't know why.
Is it because you're odd?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, maybe. Murder. But like, I don't know. I'm not that suspicious. Are you that suspicious when it comes to that stuff?
Look, I'm actually not. But
Like you'll walk under a ladder, like you won't. Like
no, I walk under ladders all the time. If I see a ladder standing against the wall, like I make it my duty to walk under.
You just got
that
one
ladder.
pitched at your front door, just like at all times. Just and then you take it down in the
Oh,
odd even
man.
number years. Like,
There's just like a ladder in every room, just like
like, wow, you guys doing construction here? You're like, nope.
nope, and I just walk under it.
You're like, wow, it's a weird thing this year's kind of shit. Like,
No, I guess like this topic, I guess in total is superstitions, like and how superstitious you are.
yeah, I feel like I
Is
know.
there anything you do like before an episode of the podcast, for instance?
I draw like the 5-pointed star in the circle and light some
Yeah.
candles. But apart from that, like,
Apart from that, you're pretty tame.
apart from that, no, I'm not that suspicious. I remember as a child, you know how you like step on the line and you break your mother's back? Like, was it like...
No.
You remember
You
like...
broke
like,
your
you
mother's back
you
by
know-
stepping on some line.
When you're a child, Brenton, let's not throw around these allegations, but but you know when you're a child and you step on the crack, you break your mother's back, like that's a thing.
Oh, yes,
Like yeah. Like I remember when I was a kid, I thought for a while that was a thing, but I didn't think it was like you step on one crack and suddenly mum's back is broken. I thought it was.
Oh
I
my
thought
god!
I
You
thought it
were
was.
gradually damaging your mother's spine.
That's exactly what I
with
thought.
every crack you stood on.
I thought like more and more, it just put like a slight bone just a little bit out of place, and just like, and then one day I remember my mum saying to me over brekkie one day, I think because she was just working very hard the day before, she's like, oh, you didn't have a good sleep, my back was really sore, and I remember just like dropping my spin, being like, oh no, and I looked down at the floor at where on the way back from my kitchen to my bedroom to get ready for school, and it was just like all lines.
Ooh.
It was like a tiled floor, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I can't reverse it. And I'm like, and I can't.
Your
And I'm
poor
like,
mother.
I'm like, my poor mum. And I thought it was like, wait, why is it? I thought it was misogynistic. I'm like, why do fathers get this? Like, I'm like, maybe I have to do it to dad, or like, I don't know.
And then you came to the realization that that it didn't matter eventually.
I
But it
think
wasn't-
Mum's
like,
practice got better.
to this day, you make sure to like step on every crack. You're like,
Yeah.
this seems to be working.
Yeah, like I said, and then suddenly she'll just drop dead
You see this crack.
on the back. Like the detective, the
Oh
doctor
my
comes
god,
in.
that's like so violent. Mum? Oh,
Welcome.
welcome to the episode.
Ah,
I'll have you know, everyone, as well. I before we started this episode, I went through my routine of superstitions. I plucked one of my arm hairs and then I kind of rubbed it against my forehead
oh my gosh.
while screaming, "It's gonna be a good one!"
It's kind of, I'm happy you finally admitted that.
So that's
on
what I
there.
do, yeah. And then obviously I bring the SWAT team that's downstairs.
Yeah, I
ready to
know.
go.
Well, it's not like you bring them. Like they're just with you. Like
I can't get rid of them.
No, frankly, they're just resident. Like, frankly, the food budget's getting out of hand now. It's like,
Belinda, get me a coffee. Thank you.
yeah.
She's
for some
team
stuff.
leader.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Good day,
love her.
Belinda.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome, buddy.
Oh my god!
It's a new season.
It's a new season.
New season.
Oh,
new
yeah.
style.
Here we go,
We're back in the 7 seasons.
mate.
Have we
It's
decided
been-
what the
it's been
7
too
seasons
long.
are? Like,
I mean, we haven't decided,
no.
but I feel like that's not up to us to decide.
No.
We just go with the flow.
We just acknowledge a new season. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we do a special kind of episode. That is
We
what this
do.
podcast, Classic Movie Banter, where we review old movies, is all about.
Yeah.
We with the change of a season, we do something a bit crazy,
We do.
a bit zany.
We eat
You
our
can probably
Fruit
tell
Loops.
this episode's off the rails at the moment.
Oh,
but,
isn't it though?
But
We're like that train in Solo, just like
oh yeah,
all
we
off the
just
rails.
we just go with the flow, and that's what seasonal sevens are all about. So with the change of a season, Nathan and I decide on a topic, and we do a top 7.
We do. We dispense the classic movie banter, movie review. And like, screw it, Brenton. We should just have a top 7 list.
A top 7 list.
Last time we did movie experiences.
Oh, wasn't that a good one?
A jolly good. If you haven't listened
Yeah,
to episode
that was a
15,
good time,
just
yeah.
pause this and just go right back.
Oh, go on back, guys. It's a
Just
good
go
time.
back. But
Yeah.
then resume episode 28 and listen to our new list of
Top 7 favorite movie lines.
Yeah. Oh, Brenton, give me the premise. Maybe not pitch me this movie, but give me the premise.
Of this, what we're going
I mean, the
to do.
title's quite self-explanatory, but like,
Okay, so what Nathan and I are now going to do is
Yes.
that we have obviously our list of top 7 favorite movie lines. There may be a few more in there as well. Who knows?
It's a
Who
very,
knows
like-
what could happen? Yeah.
like, it's funny because we say lines, but I've got like whole speeches in here, frankly.
No, so do I. No, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah. And so we have our lists, and what we're going to do today is we've also got a couple of honorable mentions
We do, because we
Nathan,
never
you've
limit
got
to
to-
just 7.
You've got 3, and
Yes.
I've got 2.
Yes.
And so we're going to quickly get through those.
Dispense with those.
Dispense with those, and then last time I said my entire list of top 7 favorite film
Just
experiences.
out with all of it.
And then I passed it back to you, and then you gave your top 7. But today we're mixing things up because
Aren't
there's
we?
no rules.
We're
in
just tossing
seasonal
the salad,
sevens.
buddy.
Oh, this
Just mixing it all
the
together.
seasonal 7 salad. There's no rules to this. We just, and if there are rules, Nathan, what do we do?
We break them, Brenton.
That's right. So today
We step
I
on
will
the
be
cracks
giving
and break 'em.
I'll be giving a line.
Mm.
Then Nathan will be giving a line.
Yes.
And then it will go back to me, and I'll give another line.
It's almost like how theatre works.
Exactly.
Just handing
It's
out
almost
lines.
how our dialogue works.
Oh, there you go.
Oh!
Oh, and we podcasters. Oh.
So yeah, this is going to be a joyous time. There's no real structure to these episodes
No.
apart from the list itself.
Yes.
So let's take the deep dive, rip that Band-Aid off, and
It's
add
a
it to
bar.
that pile in the corner.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't get gangrene. And let's get into this. But before we do, Nathan.
Yes.
It's a seasonal 7, seasonal 7, seasonal 7. Why is it 7? No one knows. Maybe it's because it's an odd number.
Maybe
That's
yeah,
why.
That's
Yeah,
why.
that's why,
This is
yeah.
all like a conspiracy that you plotted long ago. You're like, it must be 7. You're like Voldemort planning the Horcruxes. It must be 7.
For sure.
For sure.
So, Nathan, you're going to kick us off with your
Alright.
honourable mentions.
Honorable mentions. So some favorite movie lines. So these didn't make the cut, but I love these lines to death. In third place, I've got this is from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Brenton.
Wow, which one?
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That one.
But there's a couple versions of this film.
Oh, there are. Pardon me.
Yeah.
This is from the best one, the 2005 one, the one with Tilda Swinton. Yes, that one.
Yes.
It's a great movie.
Oh, man, I feel like it wasn't underrated at the time, but I still think that's a good time.
It holds up really well, actually.
Yeah.
Have you seen it recently?
I've seen parts of it recently. I've seen the clips of it, and I'm like, man, this still holds up.
It's a great film. Like, it's a good family film. It's like, I think we told a story about how we used to watch in Christian Living. Like, it's a great time. Like, and my favorite part of it, it's actually at the very end, because you think my line's going to be with Tilda Swinton, because she's the best person in this.
Ooh, I think I know where this is going.
But it's actually not Tilda Swinton I'm going to be talking about today.
Is it Jim Broadbent?
Oh my god! How did you guess this?
Oh, I just continue.
Can you see my list? Like, do I need to hide this?
Maybe.
It's Jim Broadbent, and it's at the very end of the film, and they all. It's funny because they spent decades of their lives in Narnia. The four children. I'm sure everyone knows the plot, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. They spent decades of their lives in the wardrobe. They become adults. They've gone through puberty. And then just suddenly they find the lamppost and they go back through the wardrobe again, and they're flung back into childhood, which must be deeply traumatic for all the children.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
They're like, we've gone from middle-aged men to children again. We conceived a child together in Narnia. Suddenly they're back as kids.
Ew. I mean,
not together, obviously. Obviously, they've probably got spat. Brenton. They're not Lannisters, for God's sake.
Eesh.
But they come back through the wardrobe, and then Jim Broadbent's just sitting there, and he walks into the room. That's right, and they're like, sir, we like Narnia and all that kind of stuff, and because he's still thinking that Lucy was still spitting shit, and they're like, oh, we've been to Narnia, but they're like, you'll never believe us, and then he leans in, and this is the line he leans in, and he's like, try me. And he says, try me, because if you've read the Narnia books, Brenton, do you know who he is?
I know who he is. Yeah. If you've read the first Narnia book,
he's from The Magician's Nephew. He's the main kid.
That is.
And I love the line, try me. This is my honorable mention, because it's such sequel bait. Because he's like, try me, and you think oh, they're going to do The Magician's Nephew next, it's going to be revealed he's this whole character. But then it just cuts to credits, and we never find out anything. If you've never read the books and you only see the Narnia films, you still have no fucking clue who the hell he is and why he knows kind of a little bit about Narnia.
No, exactly. He's never in any of the other films.
No, he's not.
Jim Broadbent,
And the producers of Narnia have said for years, oh, we'll make Magician's Nephew, and maybe we'll bring Jim Broadbent back, who knows? But then it never happened. There was no prequel, no sequel, no nothing. And so
it was a promise that was never kept.
No, and so whenever I go to the movies and I see obvious sequel bait, I go to the movies and I see them set up a sequel that will never happen, I always just mutter to myself, try me. And I think of Jim Broadbent. So that's line number 3, Brenton. Do you like that line?
No, I do. I like when he tosses that cricket ball to Peter and he says, try me.
That's right. Oh, Jim Broadbent, love you so much.
Oh, man.
Second line is from The Avengers.
Oh, okay.
And it's a nothing line, and the only reason I know this is not an iconic line at all. It's not like the We Have a Hulk or anything like that. It's one of my favorite films, the original Avengers. It's what made me fall in love with Marvel and all that kind of stuff, that whole cinematic universe. But there's a line early on in the film, and Brenton, do you ever mumble to yourself privately, you just talk to yourself?
I can't say I do, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't do it dangerously enough where I'm suddenly Ed Norton.
No. I know people that mumble to themselves, let's say in a healthy way. It's not.
While I'm working at the computer, I'll be talking to myself, or when I'm cooking, I talk to myself or something like that. Creatively, for creative reasons, Brenton. But the one line I say to myself from movies the most, out of this entire list, the one thing I say to myself, there's a scene in The Avengers where Nick Fury, he arrives at have you seen The Avengers?
Of course I've seen The Avengers.
Okay, good. Okay, then you remember this scene then. Well, listeners, hopefully you've seen The Avengers too. It's very on the film where Nick Fury arrives at the base and the Tesseract's going apeshit. And Skarsgård, Steven Skarsgård or whatever his name is, he's touching the Tesseract. He's like, oh shit! And he's like, oh, it's all going off. And Nick Fury walks into the room and he shouts at the top of his long lungs, talk to me, doctor. And every time I want to get someone's attention, or every time I grab an object or pull it across the room, I don't know why, but I always just say the phrase, talk to me, doctor. And I don't know why that stuck out.
Especially Samuel L. Jackson saying that.
Yeah. just
It's got that ring to it.
the
you
way
know?
he says it, like every time someone's about to talk to me, I just say to myself, "Oh, talk to me, doctor."
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's line number 2. And then the top of my honorary mentions. This actually has a story to it. So this is from the Lego Movie.
Wow, I love the Lego Movie.
Isn't the Lego Movie great?
Oh, that's a good time, everyone. Yeah.
Back in 2016, I lived in my first shared house. I was in college before that. And so I'd lived with a couple of mates in Brisbane. And the Lego Movie came out like 2 years ago, but we all loved it. And there's a line in it, there's a scene where Everett, like the main guy, he watches the TV show at the start of the film, and his favourite TV show is Honey, where are my pants? And it's great, and it's a great moment in the film. And we loved it. And so every time in our shared house, I lived there for a year, every time one of us would come home, regardless of who was home, we'd walk through the front door and scream at the top of our lungs, "Where are my pants?" And then hopefully someone else who was in the house would suddenly, whatever they were doing, leap out of their bedroom, run to the front door, and then point to the person and just go, "Oh, they're right there." I swear you not, we did this for like months in like our shared house, but like
That is awesome.
and we had neighbors as well, like downstairs, and so we'd just shout it, and sometimes we'd walk outside and like, "Are you guys all right?" And we'd be like, like, "Do you walk home naked?" And we're like, "No, we've got the pants." But it's just something we've said for years, and still when I see like Lucas and like the boys I used to live with there, I still just shouted at them randomly, like, "Oh, it's great."
That is a good story.
What
and
do
it's such a funny line. Like,
Yeah.
just as we saying. Oh, man.
It's just the energy. It's just emblematic of just the stupidest sitcoms out there. Like, and Lego Movie's awesome. If you haven't seen it, like, watch it. It's so good.
It's a great movie.
Great movie.
Great movie. Go watch it. It's
So
a
what
good
about
time.
you, Brenton? What's your honorable mentions?
I'm going to smash through these honorable mentions.
All right.
Number 1.
Mm.
First honorable mention goes to Harry Potter
Ah.
and the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh, really?
Released in 2002.
Mm.
Now, this is by far, and I put it first because this is the cheesiest fucking line ever. In fact, it's so cheesy that after this line is said, everyone in the film breaks into a random round of applause for no reason. And then the movie ends.
Oh my god.
I love the Chamber of Secrets. It gets a lot of hate, and I can understand why.
Yeah, I don't understand
But
it.
it's personally, it's probably up there with my favorite Harry Potter films.
Really?
Because it brings out that childhood nostalgia for
Mm.
me. It's one of those ones that, like the music, like the John Williams score, everything about it, the Chris Columbus, like that fantastical element of it all.
It's so
gets
good.
you going.
Yeah.
So the line is this. So Robbie Coltrane delivers like this heartbreaking kind of like line to Harry where he's like, "I just wanted to say thanks," you know. And
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
right.
it's
He
kinda
gets,
like
Hagrid gets out of Azkaban.
he
It's
stammers out like he was in Azkaban.
He was
That
in
would've-
Azkaban
that
with the
would've been
Dementors.
Sucked.
He's got like PTSD from that.
And then Harry Potter turns to Hagrid and he says, "It's not Hogwarts without you, Hagrid." And then Robbie Coltrane kind of goes, "Oh, that's nice." And then Dumbledore goes, "Oh, that's so nice." And then everyone starts fucking clapping.
And they
for
all
it.
applaud.
And then
And John Williams smells.
I don't know what it is, man. It's not a good line. It's a cheesy fucking line.
Why does it
But
end on that?
It gets me, man.
Because it doesn't happen in the books as well. Like, there's no.
Not
Jake-
Hogwarts without you,
You,
Hagrid.
Hagrid.
Oh.
Because by the way, in Order of the Phoenix, Hagrid vanishes for the majority of that movie, and he's not in Hogwarts.
It's not Hogwarts without Hagrid.
You reckon Harry goes through angst in that movie? Maybe because it's just Hagrid isn't there.
I'm telling you, man. You're onto something.
It wasn't Umbridge. It was just Hagrid's. Like,
It was stated. It was a line of dialogue. That's how Harry feels. Like, no wonder things went to shit.
Harry's just sitting outside Hogwarts hut, just like by himself. Just he's like, "It's not Hogwarts without you, Hagrid." And he's just waiting like a dog. Like,
He's
such a
sitting there with
stupid
Fang,
line.
like just
Yeah.
like,
Fang's
"Come
just,
on, Hagrid, come home."
It's just bless
so
him.
Haspot, well done,
Haspot, love
well
him.
done. You made the list. My second honourable mention is, where is it? Oh no, here it is. Yeah, second and final honourable mention
Yes.
goes to Zoolander, released in 2001.
This was close to coming onto my list.
Oh
Yeah.
man. It was close to actually being on mine as well.
Fantastic.
In my 7. And the reason... So there's a few good lines I'm going to just say from this movie.
Oh,
'cause
go for it, man.
There's
Spit
so
them out,
many.
because there's so many.
There's 3 that I love. But I can turn left. There is also... What is this? A center for ants! There's also...
This meal is 3 times bigger.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills! And finally, the line that is...
Do you shot the crazy pills like just regularly in your private life? Just like no one's done the dishes. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Oh my god, Mugatu, like, if we ever did, like, oh man, spoiler alert, but one day, inevitably, I don't know if it's going to be the next season or when it's going to be, we're going to do top 7 characters.
Oh, we should.
Spoiler alert, like, Mugatu could make it, could very well make it onto
I invented the piano necktie. I did that.
I invented it.
What have you done, Derek? Nothing! Nothing! And he screams
You know I hate
it.
a foamy latte. Sorry, indeed. And then they have like that weird interaction, him and his assistant, where it's like they're gay.
Yeah, and it's like the weird kind of like pouts a little bit at him.
Yeah, it's like so weird. And it's like, ooh.
You will be derelict.
But the line that makes the list,
There's so many.
that makes the honorable mention, I should say, is a line that I say so much it's not funny.
Oh my goodness.
It's not funny, and it's said so much in this film. It's not. It's almost not funny either, and that is. That Hansel's so hot right now.
It's so good.
Need I say more?
You don't, and
It's just
it's
he
so
is.
good.
He's just so hot right now.
He is so hot right now. And like, what context do you say it in real life?
I mean, like, just whenever. There doesn't need to be a context.
you're just
That Hansel's so hot right now.
you're just reading Hansel and Gretel. And you're like, oh, that Hansel's so hot right now.
I think my favorite use of it in the film, though, is when he goes to smash the computer at the end.
Oh, yeah,
And it's like a huge dramatic moment, and then like Mugatu just leans over. That Hansel's so hot right now.
it's so emblematic of the fashion industry. It's like, they're so hot right now. I would love it at the start though when he's like getting the award, and then he's just like, oh, he first says it.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, he's just so hot right now.
Or at the funeral, I think it is.
Oh my god,
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Don't you think I don't know what a utilizer is?
Man, Zoolander.
That
Another
film
great
is just
film.
made up of quotable lines.
That film is genuinely
What a gold mine.
It's one of the greats, one of the comedy greats.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
I think it was like made in 2001. We're getting close to 20 years.
2001, yeah.
Oh, we've already done it though. Already thumbs up from both of us, frankly. Like,
If I had 3 thumbs, they'd all be up.
if you haven't seen Zoolander, like it's just so good, isn't it?
So Nathan, let's rip that other Band-Aid off. Add it to the pile.
All right, top 7. Here we go.
Give us a line.
No, give me a line. Like,
Give me a line.
All right, let me just get the bag of cocaine and I'll. All right, number 7. So it's number 7. It belongs from The Incredibles, and The Incredibles is a great film. Probably my favorite of the Pixar films.
Wow, yeah, I can understand that.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so bloody good. This is a story. It's not really much of a story, but like the line. So I'm trying to think of how I can phrase this. So me and my mate Lucas, like we often share music that we love with each other, and and every time like there's a new album that comes up, we normally listen to the whole album. We like to talk about the music of all of it, and what we do is that, you know how iTunes, it has like a star system.
It does. Yeah.
It does. Lucas and I are probably the only 2 individuals that still use the star system in iTunes because we're so old school. And I put a lot of effort into my rating songs on iTunes, bro. I don't know about you, but when it comes to 1 star to 5 star, I make sense of it.
Yeah, man.
Do you do this?
You gotta take your time. Look, no, if I'm being honest,
no one does.
I do not. Yes,
No one does.
But you do you, man.
But there's a moment in it. Anyway, so like we send each other like what we've rated similar albums that we both listen to, just like to see. Oh,
Right,
you like
yeah.
that? Rather than say, oh, do you like this song? Do you like this song? We just like see what we wrote. Anyway, so there was one time where an album came out and Lucas just gave it all 5 stars. And I'm like, no, this album isn't perfect. Like there's not some great songs on this, and it was like some random like Ministry of Sound album. And I was like, oh no, there's not that good songs in it. But he gave him all 5 stars, and so I sent him the line that Syndrome says in The Incredibles, where he's like, if everyone's super, then no one is, and he like laughs as he walks out.
Yeah, no, he goes, if everyone's super, no one will be. It's like
and he walks out.
It's yeah.
It's a great line, and it's so funny because I meant that in the context of like, oh, if you rate every song 5 star, then are they all really special? Are they all the same?
Yeah.
And I sent this in a message, and like he literally just like went, oh, for like he just like sent lines and lines and lines of like cap locks, and he was just like, oh. And now whenever like we talk about music that we love, if he loves like everything, I'm just like, well, if everyone's super, like, oh. like nothing special. And it's like, it's also great philosophy as well. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
It's also, if everyone had, the same special thing, then would it really be special? No, Brenton.
Individuals, man. That's where it's at.
Determinism. Ayn Rand. Let's bring that back in the fold. That's number 7. What about you, buddy?
So mine aren't actually numbered, so I'm just going to pick lines. I'm just going to pick lines,
Yeah.
They could, by the way, I feel like with these lists, like, I should have premised this at the start as well. These are like 7 favorites.
Yeah.
I feel like if you ask me this same thing next season, thered be another 7 here. You know what I mean? It's like, it depends on the time.
Depends on the season, frankly.
On the odd numbers, the even numbers.
These are the summer vibes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the next line I'm going to say is a line that's near and dear to my heart, from a scene that's near and dear to my heart, and that is from Star Wars.
Fantastic choice.
1977. Just letting you know, there were some lines that could have made it from the whole trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
So, one of my favorites, actually, is from Return of the Jedi.
Great choice. Underrated one.
But this is not actually the line.
Okay.
This is just the build-up to the line.
Okay.
So this almost made it for Star Wars, and that is, "It's too late for me now, son."
It's too late for me, son.
It's such a good line.
Isn't it?
It's like that moment where you just go, "Oh, fuck, Vader."
Like Darth Vader. You finally see that first ounce of remorse. Or
That's it,
You see like the hint of Anakin left over.
Oh my god.
By the way, spoiler
good.
alert for all the movies we're talking about today.
Yeah. Well, yeah, speaking of spoilers, the next line could have been, "I am your father."
Oh, yeah.
No, I am your father.
That's right. No. Can you do it in the Vader voice?
No, no, I can't.
Oh, you can't?
I can't do it. I'm not going to insult James L. Jones.
I am your father.
I am your father.
And Mark Hamill. By the way, do you reckon Mark Hamill does really shitty acting when he reacts to that? He's like, "No!" He pulls that weird face. Can you do it? No! And he like clutches the pole. And he's like, and he pulls the dumbest face in cinema.
He kind of looks like like Kim Possible's naked mole rat.
Oh, he does look like Rufus, doesn't he?
Anyway, so that could have made the list as well as like, but for me, like, Empire doesn't really have the strongest lines. Like, that line itself, like, I remember it blew my mind because obviously I didn't know the spoiler as a kid. But the line that I chose is actually from the original Star Wars, 1977.
Oh, nice.
And it's when Obi-Wan explains the Force. "The Force is what gives a Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us, it penetrates us, it binds the galaxy together." Now, the reason I chose that line is because as a child,
yes,
I've told the story before in the last season or 7s that when I watched Star Wars, I watched from Empire, then Return of the Jedi, then I went back to the original Star Wars.
That's right, yeah. So this whole time you're like, the fuck is the Force?
Well, it's not even... Well, I knew what the Force was, but the reason I choose that is because whenever I would... I had a friend that, when I was young, named Jordan.
Oh, yeah?
And he and I kind of like grew apart as we got, like, as happens with school. Like, when you're young, like, it becomes clear that, like, you have different interests and then you just kind of join different groups.
Like me and Brenton.
Oi! Oh. We do a podcast together, Nathan.
I know, we built the bridge back, didn't we, buddy?
Oh, we forged it together.
We did.
But yeah, so Jordan and I kind of grew apart. But what was interesting, like, because I was obsessed with Star Wars. And I
remember you were obsessed with Star Wars,
yes. Yeah. And I would always play this scene. The scene this line is from, and that's the Obi-Wan and Luke scene when he gives him, "This is your father's lightsaber. Fucking don't kill anyone." Like when you turn this shit on, don't.
He waves it about the room. And Mark Hamill's like dodging it. He's like, "Whoa, shit! Watch out!"
And I don't know what it is about that scene and this line, because obviously there's a music score that comes underneath this line as well.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's the Force theme. Anyway, it's just that scene that just gives me that instant, like, nostalgia.
You're like,
and it would always be like when I'd introduce people to Star Wars, I'd always just play this scene.
Oh, nice.
I just like this scene. It's also the scene that, like, another line that's very famous, which is the "Help me, Obi-Wan, come here.
You're my only hope.
You're my only hope." Yeah, but
like, it was just like some middle-aged
the
Italian
description
woman,
of the Force and the way it's delivered by Alec Guinness, I don't know, it just gets me going.
It gets you going, buddy.
Gets me going, buddy.
Gets the people moving.
Give me a line, man.
All right, number 6. It's from Night at the Museum 3.
Oh my god, I've never seen this film.
Oh, it's a great film. I actually talked about this in my last. This is actually the only crossover between last season or the 7 seasons and this one. It's Robin Williams' last line. Remember me telling you the story? It was like,
Yes.
it was where like, because like he just died and it was distraught. I remember that was like the most celebrity death. I was like, man, this really sucks. The world like doesn't have him in it anymore. So I was like sitting in the cinema, and you know he does this speech because you haven't seen it, so I'm going to give you the speech right now that happens, and it's between him and Ben Stiller. Let me just, I wrote it down, Brendan. I come to these things prepared, believe it or not. And so it's so the context of it. I'm going to spoil the ending of The Museum 3 for everyone if you care. By the way, have you seen the first one? Like,
I've seen the first one. I love the first one.
yeah, first one's great.
Yeah, I haven't seen the sequels, unfortunately.
Second one's a good romp. Third's absolute horseshit. But the third, at the end of the third one, like Robin Williams' like goodbye thing, like it's so moving because okay, there's like, so what happens that, you know, they all save the day and and they all go back to the museum and they're all, you know, getting back into their positions before the sun rises and that kind of stuff. And Ben Stiller's son has been the hero of the day and he's kind of a little bit like nervous about his son. He's like, oh, is he going to be a good guy? Who knows? And Robin Williams is walking with him. And
wait, Ben Stiller's son, sorry.
Yeah, Ben Stiller's son. He's not there. It's between Ben Stiller and Robin Williams.
Right.
And so they get to the horse that Robin Williams rides, and Robin Williams says to Ben Stiller, "It's time for your next adventure." And Ben says, "Oh, I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow." And then Robin Williams says, "How exciting." And then he gets up on his horse and he's all getting in his little position. And then Ben Stiller's like, "Oh, bye, Teddy." And he's like, "Farewell, Lawrence." And there's like a little, and he freezes in his little position. And then Ben Stiller's like, "Oh, there goes Robin Williams." And then Robin Williams goes, "Rah!" And he like just screams at him, and Ben Stiller jumps back. And then Robin Williams says, "Smile, my boy. Sun's rising." And then he's gone, and that's the last you ever see of Robin Williams. And like when he said like sun, like it's, oh no, he says it's sunrise, and then you see the light shine on his face, and he's frozen. I'm like, I've just watched Robin Williams die, and I'm like, oh, I was bawling. Like,
Is it? So he says, "Smile, my boy."
It's sunrise.
It's sunrise.
Yeah.
That, like, I got chills. That's really like,
It's,
yeah.
well, you gotta watch the scene. It is,
man.
like, because he had just died, and then he says, like, "Smile, my boy, just smile. It's sunrise. Like, it's okay. It's sunrise." And I'm like, oh, like, everyone was just weeping in that cinema. Like I've never seen a cinema cry like that before, and I was bawling. Like, God, it was. I just walked out, and everyone's like, "Wow, Night at the Museum, what a moving film!" And I'm like, "No, it's just
that
Robin
scene.
Williams.
I gotta
Yeah.
watch it. That's
it's a shit film. Just watch that
But
scene.
that sounds perfect.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, because they said they didn't alter the script, but like,
No,
it was the perfect way for Robin to go in cinema, and it's just, and he just freezes, and he's just happily frozen in time with a light smile on his face, and you're just like, I just melt thinking of it. And like, I watched the scene again so I could get that quote. I was almost close to crying then. I'm like, god damn.
that's special.
It's a really special
That's
scene.
really
like,
special. Yeah.
if anyone here still misses,
I really want to watch it. Yeah,
please do.
that's-
If anyone
yeah.
here misses Robin Williams, like, watch it. It's a great way of dealing with it.
So I'm gonna continue on with the Robin Williams love.
Oh, fantastic,
support.
Brenton.
Um,
I'm glad he's back.
there was many options that I could have chosen for this.
Mm.
For instance, I was tossing up putting something from something that was on my list from last time, which was of course Good Will Hunting.
Oh, of course, yeah.
There's some great lines in that. Your move, Chief, or his ad-libbed line at the end is great in that. Also, when he's like, "Son of a bitch, stole my line." Like that's just so perfect.
Yeah.
But I could have also chosen Mrs. Doubtfire, which is another like one of my favorite. Robin Williams
love
films.
that film. We should do an episode of Mrs.
We should.
Doubtfire. We really
should. Yeah.
That's a fantastic movie.
But the one I've chosen, and this might seem like a generic choice, but I do love this film, is Dead Poets Society.
Oh,
Released
fantastic.
in 1989. So I could have gone with Carpe Diem, Seize the Day, obviously, but I've gone with the end scene, which is "Oh Captain, my Captain," and it's the standing on the tables, and it's that classic scene. But the line itself that just gets me, because it gets you when they're all standing on those tables.
Yeah.
And you're going, oh man, like, and you're like emotionally involved, and like the one that gets me every time is the last kid, the kid that kind of like is just kind of like, he's almost like the class clown. He's a very minor character in the film. He has like a couple of moments, and he's not really involved in the classes and stuff, and he kind of goes, "Yeah, I'll stand on the table," and he like as a form of respect.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's the line is, "Thank you, boys. Thank you."
Oh.
And he walks out.
That'd be a great last line for him as well in cinema. Like,
It is. It's the same thing.
Oh.
I just like, but it's not. It's even beforehand, even before his death and passing and whatnot. It's still just like, it's such a because it is. It's like
It's a
like
simple line, but there's so
yeah.
much heart behind
and
it.
it's like passing of the baton. It's like, you know, he like has left his imprint and whatnot on that class and stuff, and he leaves, and it's a sad ending. It's a happy ending. It's almost like it always is like the character's like dying in a way. And it's like
it is like a death. Yeah.
And then like obviously like when you watch it now, it's even more significant in that sense.
Yeah.
as
Have you
well.
seen it since he's passed?
Yeah.
Oh, that must be great.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But we love you, Robin
we
Williams.
love him. I still
Like,
miss him.
like-
Still miss him.
Like yeah, again, like I might have said this on the original top 7, but yeah, out of all the celebrity, obviously of the many people we've lost along the way, he's the one that really affected me the most.
Yeah.
And that's not really why this is on the list
no,
necessarily.
it's just a great line.
I just think it's a great line, and also it's just something that I'm always like. It's just one of those moments in cinema that you just go, wow, like, and it's always just stayed with me. And I guess even now it's even more potent. Yeah. So we love you, Robin.
I love you. I think the listeners are going to learn from these lists that like we're not going to do famous movie lines. Like we're not going to do like play it again, Sam, or anything like that. Like
No.
it's not going to be iconic lines like The Godfather or anything like that. It's just like stuff that means lines that stick with
Our
us,
favorite.
you and me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No one else, Brenton. Yeah. No one else.
It's just you and me.
You and me, kiddo. You and me, kiddo.
Number 5, Nathan.
Number 5 for me is there's many lines from the movie Shrek that I could
Oh
have
my
had
god, yeah.
for number 5. There's so many. I actually didn't choose one. I chose a whole speech because I'm like this cumulatively, and I'll tell you why I chose the speech. You know what speech it is? It's the Muffin Man speech.
Oh my god, yes.
And the reason this out of everything that's said in Shrek, because there's so many amazing lines. Like, you reckon he's compensating for something? Like, out of everything, he's like, this stuck with me the most because out of all the lines, it's so representative of what the film is. Because it makes no sense. Like, narratively, it makes no sense. Because we cut to Lord Farquaad and Gingy, and Farquaad's interrogating Gingy. We don't know how or why that happened in the first place. We don't know why he thinks this gingerbread man knows where everything is. But then like they have this nonsensical dialogue that has nothing to do with the plot, and then it hard cuts to like one of the guards like storming him, just be like, oh, we got him, and that kind of stuff. So it didn't need to be in the movie. It's there simply for a gag, and it's funny because the line of interrogation, like Farquaad thinks he's got the plot, but Gingy just diverts him so easily.
Yes.
And so I've written it down here, Brenton. And did you want to do a little bit of riffing, you and me?
Oh, sure.
All right. So
I need to know the exact
you
lines.
need to know
though.
the exact line. We're gonna give
I got a
some
fair
technical
idea.
difficulties. Let me just slide on over to you, Brenton. All right.
Ugh,
Now I hope you can read my handwriting.
I'll do my best.
All right, it's very messy, but do you want to be Gingy or do you want to be Farquaad?
How do you feel?
I really don't mind. Like,
Do you have a preference? I'll be Gingy. Sure.
all right. I'll be. So Farquaad's just walked in and he's just like, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
You're a monster.
I'm not a monster. You are. You and the rest of your fairy tale trash, ruining my perfect world. Now tell me, where are the others?
Eat me.
I've tried to be patient with you fairy tale creatures, but now my patience has worn me out. Tell me, or I'll...
No, not the buttons. Not the gumdrop buttons.
All right then, who's hiding them?
Okay, I'll tell you. Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
Yes, I know the Muffin Man. Who lives on Drury Lane?
Well, she's married to the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man?
the Muffin Man.
It's so nonsensical.
It's like, yeah,
It's
well,
just-
now you like show me that.
Yeah.
It who's she?
Like, yeah, who is the woman? Like, that's the thing. Like what they're actually talking about.
She's married. But that's why I love that line. Like, she's married to the Muffin Man. Like, it's so random.
It's like, yeah,
Like-
because it's like.
But there's also like a history there that we just don't know, and we never know. We never find out.
Because he knows the Muffin Man, and Gingy's like, well, there's a woman, and he's like, where are the fairy tale creatures? We're like, well, there's this woman, like, and he's like, what? Like, I want to know where the rest of it was going. Like, it's so stupid. Like, when you pay attention
It's
to it,
perfect. That scene is great, man.
it's a great scene.
Yeah, my
and a great
favorite line of
movie.
that is definitely, well, she's married to the Muffin Man.
Oh,
It's on
yeah.
the exact lines, but
Yeah, she's married.
good choice,
to...
man.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
Do you have any standouts from Shrek that you love?
Oh, I mean that is up there. Basically the whole onion scene is great.
Yeah, true.
I'm making waffles.
Actually, you know what I say a lot in real life? I say that's a nice boulder. Whenever,
I do too, yeah.
whenever I like cook something really, really nice.
No, the one I say the most.
Okay.
The line I say the moment is, that'll do, donkey. That'll do.
I say that so much too,
Yeah.
actually. Now I think about it, yeah, that'll do, donkey. That'll. I also get it confused with babe, because there's also a line where it's like, that'll do, pig. I always like say the two of them back and forth.
Babe's trash. Shrek's where it's at.
Shrek is exactly where it's at. What about your next one, buddy?
So the next line that I've chosen is from a film that actually nearly made my top 7.
Ooh.
Actually, did it? Was this in my top 7?
Well, isn't this in your top 7? If this is what's next on the list?
I mean, like, I'm talking about my fave film experiences. No, it didn't. It nearly did. It was up there.
Okay.
And that was Forrest Gump.
It's from Forrest.
Released in 1994. So this is potentially one of my favorite scenes ever. And
I love that you're not going to choose like the iconic like box of chocolate scene. Like you're gonna go somewhere else. I like that.
No, it's going somewhere completely different. So probably my favorite scene in Forrest Gump. Obviously, the scene that gets everyone is obviously when, spoiler alert for Forrest Gump, Jenny dies.
Yeah,
and it's at the grave. It's not that scene. That's the one like that gets like everyone just starts weeping. The scene I cry in every time I watch this. film
wow.
Is where Forrest meets Forrest Jr.
Oh yeah.
He goes to the apartment. And it's like perfect. It's so perfect. So this whole film, you're with this guy Forrest Gump, and he just seems oblivious to everything around him, and that's like his thing. Like he's like, he's got a low IQ or whatever, and he's oblivious to everything that happens around him, like the let's say the intricacies of the world.
Yeah.
And the
Black Panthers and the meeting the president, all that stuff.
Yeah, he's oblivious to it, and he just kind of lives his life with like his code, which is like God, what Mama says, and Jenny. That's it. So he gets this scene and finds out he has the son. And, he sees Jenny after all these years and whatnot, and he finally meets his son. And he has like this moment of self-reflection. And he's looking at this kid and he says, he's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, which is touching and whatnot. But the scene that just breaks my heart, and it kind of like changes your whole perspective on this character of the movie. That's why this line is special coming up. The line is, the first thing he asks Jenny is, but is he smart or is he, and then he kind of gestures to himself. And the reason it's Tom Hanks' performance, it's everything, because it changes the whole film, because he knows what he is.
He knows he's
not oblivious to like necessarily everything, but he knows that he's not smart, and he has he has a low IQ, and furthermore, he doesn't want someone else to be like that.
No, it's just because it's his child as well, like as a father. Like,
it is perfect,
that
scene. And then the way he goes up to him, and then when he finds out that he's one of the smartest in his class, his reaction, holy crap, man. I cry every time in that scene.
Oh, that's so great. That's
so
great.
Line.
Can you do a good Forrest?
Oh, not really.
Jenny.
Jenny. What's a line from Forrest Gump?
Oh, like Mama always said?
Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. Not one of my best.
You're doing bad with your Forrest.
But, yeah.
All right. Now, number 4. This is... we couldn't do this episode without the original Spider-Man trilogy.
Dude, it's not in my list.
What?
It's not in my list.
How is this not in your list?
It's not in my list. It was nearly an honourable mention, but I'm
glad that I put it in.
Thank you for keeping the love. Yeah, because there's many lines from this movie that could be in there.
This from the whole trilogy, 1, 2, and 3. There's like great
I was gonna say,
lines.
if I was to choose anything, there might have been one from 2 as well that could have made it in. But
mine is from 2, and it's actually not.
Wonderful.
It's a very underrated line from 2.
Oof.
Out of the whole trilogy, because we quite Willem Dafoe like nothing else, and like and Doc Ock and all those guys, and we love those movies. Like I love them, and even 3 grows on me a little bit more because of just how stupid it is.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's
so
not
great.
It's not great, no.
but it's great. It's still an enjoyable watch.
Yeah,
but not necessarily at the same time.
Yeah,
it's oh man, I'm always like toing and froing with that movie. It's like, do I enjoy watching this, or is it like because at the same time it's not enjoyable. You hate what it's doing.
But you know what it is by this point.
Yeah,
so, like,
exactly,
You just
yeah.
know what to expect.
Exactly.
But like anyway, so from Spider-Man 2, there's a story with this as well. My absolute favorite line from this entire trilogy is there's a scene early on in Spider-Man 2 where he's delivering pizza and Tobey Maguire's on the bike and he looks at and like Sam Raimi zooms in on the clock and we realize, oh no, Peter Parker, he's running late, and Pete's like, oh, I have to deliver the pizzas in half an hour, which by the way is a stupid mandate for a New York pizza place to have. We'll get your pizza there in half an hour. It's like, come on, who actually does that? It's like, pizza business, you're running yourself to the ground. But anyway, so Tobey Maguire's like, oh, I know what I can do. And he runs into this alleyway and this random guy just like sees him run into the alleyway. And then Peter Parker runs in and then leaps Spider-Man, and he swings by this guy and he has the pizzas all webbed up and he's like, Spider-Man will deliver the pizzas. But the guy, he looks at him and he says, hey, he stole that guy's pizza. Do you remember this?
I do remember that line.
And it's
perfectly.
the funniest
Yeah.
line of the whole movie. And I love it so much that like, whenever I've lived in a shared house, like the past couple years, every time I order a pizza or I bring home a pizza for friends, especially when I was living in a shared house in Brisbane, every time I bring home a pizza, I'd always walk through the door and to announce I have the pizzas, I'd always go, hey, I stole that guy's pizza. Exactly like the guy says it. And it's great.
such a good line.
It's
yeah.
such a good line because one of the things that the old Spidey films have that the new ones don't is just the random pedestrians pointing out Spider-Man.
Exactly.
They're like, hey, look, it's a Spider-Man. Hey, it's Spider-Man. Whereas in the new films, no one's like, oh, hey, get out of here. It's New York.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So and he's like so emblematic of that. Like,
Oh,
I love it.
I think the line that would have made my honorable mentions would have honestly just been, with great power comes great responsibility.
It's a good line, isn't
I mean,
it?
I love the gobby, but but you know.
I'm sure you do love the gobby, mate.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But also, like, I think you and I have talked about this, like the Aunt May line, when she's like revealing to Peter who Spider-Man
Yes,
is.
that's
Yeah.
the one that I'd choose.
I think we've talked about
two.
this last time. Like,
Yeah,
maybe
it's-
not. I don't know. We
I
might have
feel
talked about
like
this
we-
off air. Like,
Oh,
yeah. But that scene.
it's such a great scene where she says, "He needs him." That's the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aunt May's like MVP in those films. I
Oh
love it
my
when she has
God.
the umbrella with Doc Ock and she's like,
Yeah.
shame on you. And she just whacks him and he's like,
What do you mean, we?
oh, she's so great.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just like,
Many
Peter?
great lines. Yeah.
She's so great. When she goes to the bank and she's like, well, at least we get the free toaster. And she holds up the coupon.
I love my favorite thing she does in that whole bank scenario is the teller or whatever
when the coin
grabs
rolls
the
by.
coin, she goes, "Poof!"
She knocks it
away.
out of his
And
hand.
It's like, ow! It's like, man, like she's
Rosemary Harris is so good in those films.
she is. She is.
She's so great.
Oh man, and in number 2, like, sorry,
No,
again,
we'll
we're
go
on a
on it.
Spider-Man rant. Like you
We
brought
have
it up.
to, I did.
Here we go. I can't take that money. You can take this money from me. Like her huge emotional outburst over like the $20.
Yeah, it's like $20.
It's good acting, but like
it's great acting.
and you're like, it just comes out of nowhere. You're just like, whoa, but oh,
Also
man.
love her speech in number 3 where she's like, revenge is like a poison. And like he's just over to tell her that he's getting engaged, but she's like really like dark.
Yeah,
And
I
she's
know,
like-
right?
Yeah, he's like, oh man, I got engaged. She's like, oh, revenge.
The way she tells that story though of how Ben swum her over to the island. And
Oh yeah, that's right.
nice.
She's got her hair out as well. It's like loose Aunt May because she's got her hair up the whole movies.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He sees her in a nightgown and she's got the longest Rapunzel hair you could think.
Who the fuck rocks up to like your like elderly aunt at like presumably like 2 a.m?
Yeah,
I know it's big news.
but like just wait for the next day.
She's still an elderly.
And she
woman.
gives him like the old ring and he almost loses it to like the Green Goblin again, the new Goblin.
Dude, that's a great scene.
Isn't
That's one of the best scenes because it actually like. It's one of the only scenes in the film, in terms of action, an action set piece, that actually manages, like the other films do, to smartly connect like something that's personal to Peter with like something that's like larger than life that's happening.
Absolutely.
So like you're invested, you're going, oh no, the ring. Like,
Yeah, and there's like also like 3 films build up of finally
Exactly,
watching like
yeah.
Harry Osborn crack and just like
Yeah.
put on the Goblin like outfit. Like,
exactly. That's like a great moment. Yeah.
it's great, isn't it? And like
Oh.
I remember when I first watched it as a child and like the film like almost opens with that. You're like, oh, this is gonna be
Exactly.
And
I
then-
remember sitting in the cinema, and when he drops the ring, he loses the ring, and
Yeah.
it's going in slow motion. It's turning Lord of the Rings style, and the whole cinema gasped.
You're like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like a moment like that. And then when he got it, he lands and he catches it, and he opens his palm and you see that he's got the ring. Again, like audibly, I heard someone go, "Oh, he's got it." Oh,
yeah.
you know what I
and
mean?
then it's like,
more of
everyone's-
that.
That's great.
Raimi, more of that, please.
And then I love also when James Franco, he throws the goblin bombs at Peter Parker,
Yeah.
and then like they turn to gliders, and he's like, "Oh, I hate those things," and they all just like ding ding ding. Like,
yeah,
off the
man.
pipes. Oh,
Oh,
great moment in Spider-Man 3. But yes, also I love the Green Goblin line, "Avenge me!"
oh my
He's
god! When
shouting
he's
through the
at the end
mirror.
of 2, like when he just like screams at him, like
"Avenge me!" Yeah.
no, chucks the knife through the mirror.
No, and then he finds the little lair, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Mwahaha. Avenge me!" Oh,
Love you, Willem. You're always welcome.
you had to make an appearance today.
Oh, he had to.
Oh, what's your next one, Brenton?
So my next one, which one am I going to choose? Alrighty, here we go. My next
that
one,
look you just gave me.
my next one is from Walk the Line, released in
really?
2005. This was another film that's like up there for me. It's one of my favorites.
Random film to add.
I love this movie.
I've never seen it, sadly.
I love this movie. It's not the best movie,
Oh,
but I
okay.
just love the content, the performances. Obviously, the only thing is like, it is like that biopic. It's kind of long. And,
I've heard the score. There's a very famous score to it, isn't it? Like, da,
Well-
da, da, da. It's like, maybe I'm thinking of something else, but
I think you're thinking of something else.
maybe.
But I still have a great time with this movie. I could watch it over and over again. I love it. So there's a few lines I could have made this as well.
What's it about? Could you please just give me a
It's
quick...
the life story. It's Johnny Cash.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm back on board.
Joaquin Phoenix plays Johnny Cash.
That's right. Yep,
and
yep.
Reese Witherspoon is June Carter.
That's right. Yep.
It's awesome. Oh my god, I love this
Is it
movie.
like blatant Oscar bait film, or like is it more than that?
It kind of is, but like
Oh.
I think it's more than that because it actually
okay.
I think like it's all down to Joaquin as well. But like
okay.
it really captures that man's essence and
Would you recommend it?
oh yeah, dude.
Okay, so it's definitely actually worth a watch.
100%.
Oh, okay, nice.
It's one of my. It's like it's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, awesome.
So what? Like, there's 3 lines. I still haven't really settled on the one it is. It's between 2 of them.
Oh, here we go.
One of them that nearly made it was "You're an Angel, June." Again, like you haven't seen it, but I'll
so you might
explain.
need to give some
Yeah,
context.
but
for that.
it's good. I'll have to give you context. There's so obviously Cash battles addiction for most of his
Oh, okay.
career.
I thought you were going to stop at Cash battles a dick. Like he's just punching some guy.
No, but he has a serious drug and alcohol addiction, and it culminates. It climaxes multiple points in the film. Like there's moments where he has to come off the tour and whatnot. And it obviously affects all of his relationships. And the other thing that affects his relationships is his infatuation with June Carter, even though he's already married with 2 kids.
Yeah.
And so that marriage falls through, obviously, due to many reasons. The main, probably most likely, obviously, June. But the whole thing climaxes in a great scene. Johnny Cash like randomly stumbles over this like mansion that's like being built, like in one of his drug stupor like states.
Oh,
He like
okay.
walks across the state. It's like nuts. It's pouring rain, and he finds this thing, and he's got the money, so he just buys it.
Oh,
He buys it, and he does this place up, and he decides to hold. I think it's Thanksgiving dinner there for his family and June's family.
Is he still on drugs at this point? Like,
Yeah,
does
yeah.
it all in the one night?
No. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's like a bit of time has passed, but he's still like hardcore on the pills and stuff. But it's like he's trying to turn his life around. Like he's trying so desperately. So he's bought this house and he's holding the thing there. And there's this amazing scene in the house. And this isn't the scene the line's from. This is the context for the scene.
Oh,
coming up.
okay.
So there's an amazing scene in the house where he's done the whole thing. And he has this relationship with his father the whole movie because if you don't know, oh man, spoiler alert.
I'm gonna spoil it. It's
Johnny
alright.
Cash as a kid, he lost his older brother
Oh, okay.
to an accident where it was like a lumber mill kind of thing.
Oh.
They were like cutting logs, and his older brother did that as a job. But John would help him and like stabilize the machine and like be
God.
there to
Do you
spot
see
it.
this in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So to spot it in case anything goes wrong. Anyway, so what happened was when they were kids, John wanted to go fishing. And the brother said, no, you go on ahead. I'll stay here, do these last couple of logs or whatever, and I'll meet you down there. There was a malfunction in the time that John went down to go fishing, and the buzzsaw nearly went straight through Jack's chest
Oh, yeah.
and killed him.
Crikey.
And he lost his brother, and his dad has always obviously blamed John for that instance.
Damn.
John's
So
like,
Thanksgiving's going to be a little bit awkward this year. Like,
but at this time, like, they're like little kids when that
Okay.
happened. They were little kids, and then like John was like, and again, there's this great moment where, because John's walking home, like, why didn't Jack come? And then like the father pulls up in the truck and says, "Where have you been?" That's the line. Where have you been?
oh.
So then they're sitting at this table, and his dad spots him having the pills, like in the kitchen from the dinner table, and they make eye contact, and John is just like not having it, because like the father like detests John. They sit down at the table. It's like the two families are there with like multiple kids from like many marriages, because obviously both of them have been married before. And they sit down, and then John like goes on this monologue basically, and he starts talking about like, I got this big house, Dad. Like, what do you think of the house? You haven't said anything since you got here. And then the dad turns around and says, "I see that there's this tractor that's like going into the that's stuck in the mud out there." He said, "Oh, I got it stuck, but I'm gonna get it out. Like, that's the thing." He said, "Well, is that how you take care of your things? You leave your tractor stuck in the mud."
Oh, it's
basically.
a metaphor.
And so like, yeah, and so like there's this tension at the table, and the family's trying to diffuse it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
so because obviously June's parents are there as well, and they're like, "Oh, like no, like
Yeah,
we just
yeah.
love the music and stuff." John interrupts this all and starts talking about the day Jack died, and goes,
Oh.
when Jack died, it's, he's not here, Jack. Like, saying he couldn't be here, is it, Dad? And whatnot. And everyone's just dead silent. And then he says, you said to me when, like, you found me, you said, where have you been? Where have you been? That's what you said. Where have you been? And the dad goes, yeah? Well, where were you? And then John turns around and says, this could have made the list as well, this line. Where were you, Dad? And it's like such a good scene.
Where have
Anyway,
you been?
So then the dad turns around and says, "Oh, you with your fucking basically like your big house, but like you're still taking those pills, still drinking, like whatever."
He goes off, yeah.
And with that big thing of the tractor stuck in the mud, John goes out to the tractor and starts like aggressively trying to get it out. It's an amazing scene. Whilst the family is like leaving from Thanksgiving
Like,
dinner, because
well, we probably should go now.
that's right, yeah. And it's so awkward. Anyway, and so he like falls off the tractor into the mud. The family is left. June's family stays behind and gets him up and stuff, and like puts him in a bed, and that's where he starts like, they basically like guard the house from like the drug dealers and stuff that come to the house to give him stuff, like chase him away with shotguns and stuff, and till he is like sober again. It's like months and months and months and months past that like June and her family like stay there protecting him. John wakes up. He's finally sober. June's there with berries and holds this thing. And there's this scene of Joaquin, and she says, "Well, it's nice to see your face again, like after all these years, basically."
Oh, wow.
And he comes and he's back, and like, and it's just amazing, this scene. Like where Joaquin basically
beats
just has this
addiction.
moment. He doesn't say anything, like basically the whole scene. She just says a lot and whatnot. And then he just says, "You're an angel, June." And he says it like, he like whispers it.
Oh.
And it's like heartbreaking. That's not the line that made the list. I'm so
Oh
sorry.
my God.
I'm so sorry. This movie's just so good.
It does sound like an incredible film. Like, it sounds very moving. Like,
it's very moving.
did he get the Oscar for it? Like,
He should have.
oh,
He should have.
he beat him. Wow.
He should have. Yeah. I think it was a great
It's
travesty.
probably like
He didn't
Adrian
win.
Brody or something stupid. Like,
I think it might have been, or it was him or Jamie Foxx for Ray. I can't remember.
oh, again, could have been Joaquin Phoenix.
But okay, so the second one that could have made the list was like the first time he sings. Folsom Prison Blues.
Yes.
Obviously, you know that song.
iconic.
So the setup for that is that he goes into record. He's been trying to get into a recording session with his band, and all they do is they play gospel. That's all they do. So he goes in and he goes, da, 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 save my soul, da, da, and it's really boring and stuff. So the producer goes, "Look, have you got any other songs?" And they haven't prepared any other songs.
You're like, oh shit.
They're like, "Oh shit,
No.
that's our one song." And he goes, "Oh look, no, we're not doing that." Like, And then John says, "Well, what's wrong? What is it? The way we dress? Like, we only got black shirts because that's the only ones we've got. Like, we don't have any other shirts that match."
I love he makes it about the fashion. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, and then
not the music.
then he's like, no, it's not that. It's just the music. It's and he's like saying, "Well, what's wrong with it?" He goes, "I don't believe you." And then he goes, "What, you're saying I don't believe in God?" And he's saying,
He's
"I
really
don't believe in God."
triggering,
And,
like, he's
and
escalating
John gets
this.
triggered. And he's like, "I don't believe in God." Is he? He says, "Hold on a second. You gotta come in here, play half a song, and then you're telling me I don't believe in God." And then
I don't see how he links the two. I think.
and then the record, the producer says, "You know what I mean. I've heard this song the same way you've just sounded, blah, blah. If you was dying on the porch, if you was dying, on the street, and there was one song that you had to sing before your day on Earth was done, was that the song you'd choose, basically? He's like, this isn't about anything to do with believing in God, Mr. Cash. It's about believing in yourself. And then John turns around and there's this awkward pause. And he says, well, I got a couple songs I wrote in the Air Force. Now, have you got anything against the Air Force? And then the producer says, no. And then Johnny Cash says, well, I do. And then he goes into Folsom Prison Blues. And it's ad-libbed. He's got his guitar, because he knows the song. The band doesn't know the song. And it's amazing, this moment. So he starts the song, as I hear the train come, and they're whispering, John, we don't know the song. We don't know the chord progression. And then, the guitarist, picks up on the chord progression and, starts bringing it in and then tells the double bassist, this is the chord progression. And then he goes through the song, and it's, this emotional fucking, raw performance. And then he turns to the guitarist, and the guitarist does that, the famous, solo from that song.
Or he just makes it up.
He makes it up on the spot, and they get the record deal.
Is that real? Is that how it happened?
Apparently.
Wow. Damn, Johnny Cash.
The line that's
You're
actually
on your Johnny Cash saga.
Here we go. Here's the line from the movie that made the list. It's one of the last scenes in the film. June and John are performing at this concert and stuff, and the whole thing, it's June's said no to John proposing for her a couple of times before this because she's no, you need to get your shit sorted.
Yeah, the drugs are a bit of a barrier here, buddy.
So they're going through Jackson, their famous duet. They're going to Jackson, and they're halfway through it, and then John just it comes to his line, and he just stops singing. The band keeps going, and June's going, "What's going on, John? Sing the song. What's going on?" The audience is there, and he goes, "Oh, I'm really sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I just gotta ask, June hear something here tonight. Because the lead up to this is that she says, I'm only going to talk to you, because he proposes to her on the bus or whatever.
Oh, okay.
He says, I'm only going to talk to you on stage after that shit you just pulled. I'm never going to talk to you. And she ignores him, gives him the silent treatment.
Oh, wow.
So then he gets on stage and he goes, I just got to ask
I know
June
how to
here
ask her. I know how to talk to her again.
And he goes, will you marry me? And then everyone kind of laughs and stuff. And she's like, oh, just sing the song, John. Just sing the song. And he's like, well, I'm really sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I refuse to finish this song until June gives me an answer here of whether she's going to marry me or not. And then he goes, she just refuses. She's like, just please sing the song. And she's getting emotional. Please sing the song. And then he says, I'm asking you to marry me. I love you, June. Now, I know I said and done a lot of things that I've hurt you, but I promise I'll never do that again. I only want to take care of you. I will not leave you like that Dutch boy with your finger in the dam. You're my best friend. And then he goes, marry me.
Does he whisper it?
Yeah, and it's really intense.
Wow.
And it's 2 minutes of just doom da da doom da da as the band's
the band is still riffing in the background.
Yeah.
Maybe we can
and
put
then
a
she
tune
says
to
all
this.
right, and she agrees to marry him live on that stage.
Wow.
And it's the most amazing. It's the movie Proposal.
Wow.
It's the best one.
It's better than The Proposal.
That's Walk the Line.
Wow. So how come Johnny Cash, this film, meant so much to you? Because there's a lot in there. It sounds like it's really hit you. Did you first see this
Johnny
as a child,
Cash.
or did it?
No, yeah. Again, this is one of the ones my dad showed me.
Is your dad a big Johnny Cash fan?
Yeah, we listen to Johnny Cash all the time.
Oh,
yeah. I love Johnny Cash.
I feel like your therapist.
I've always,
is this about your father?
Seriously, country music and rock music,
you adore.
I love it, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
I never knew that side to you, Brenton.
Yeah.
We're finding out all sorts of things today.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love this movie. Yeah.
Wow. Dude, you've definitely sold it to me. I got to watch this thing. I know you've told me all the major moments, but there's probably still heaps more.
There's still heaps more.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. I love that movie.
It's great because I don't know much about Johnny Cash, so I
Watch
love his
movie,
music, but I don't know much about his life.
Watch the movie, and it's honestly, it's Joaquin again. That guy's one of the best actors working today, for sure.
Love him in Her. Love him in The Joker. That's coming up. He'll be great.
Oh,
all right.
Sorry, that took a while.
That's great. Number 3 for me. It's completely. It's hard following a story like that with my third choice, Finding Nemo.
Oh, good choice, man. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. It's it's one of the first films we ever said on this podcast, and this is actually a moment. It's actually not a line, weirdly, for me to put in this list. But it's an embarrassing story on my behalf. I was at the cinemas, Brenton. I was being 8 years old when this first came out. And I was in the movies and I saw Finding Nemo, and it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. And this line, it comes from when Dory is trying to talk to the whale, and she goes into this speech where she's like, "Where are you from?" And you remember she does like that big wide, like, yeah. As a child, and I think I might have seen this like with a bunch of other kids in the cinema, because I remember there were a lot of kids there. Everyone was just like losing their shit over this movie. Like, when she got into the speech, I have never heard laughter like that in a cinema ever. Like, everyone was like roaring with laughter. Like, she was doing this. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I laughed so hard in that moment that for the first time ever, I'd peed my pants.
Are you? Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh buddy.
And this was like right near the end of the speech, and it was because I didn't even know you could do that just from laughter. I was just like, oh wow! I was like, wow, okay, this is the thing that happened. I was laughing so much, and I was just so happy. And then maybe I just had a lot of, Fanta or something. I just didn't realize I needed to pee, because it just sounded like letting out. And it's like when you start peeing and you immediately know you shouldn't be peeing, and so you can turn it off like a tap. Like, it was like that. So it wasn't like a huge mess. But I remember, I was literally rolling off my chair with laughter. Like I've never laughed like that before. And then I was crawled back on, and I looked down at my pants, and I realized what I had done. And I was like, oh no. And it was near the end of the movie, so I couldn't wait for it just to evaporate. So I remember the credits came on, and then Mum was walking me out, and I just had the popcorn in front of me the whole time as we walked out. And I had the popcorn in front of me, and then to block my crotch from anyone seeing what happened. And then we walked past the bin, and Mum was like, oh, you can throw the popcorn thing in the bin. And I'm like, no, I want to keep it. And she was like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah. Because I think it had Finding Nemo art in it. And I'm like, oh, I want to keep this. And she's like, she looked at me suspiciously. She's like, oh, okay, cool. And then we got into the car, and I blocked it all the way on the drive home, and we got to the house, and I just sprinted to my bedroom with this popcorn box. And before Mum could say anything, I just ran upstairs, changed pants, changed underwear. And then she never found out until now.
Shout out to Nathan's mum.
Shout out to my mum, who probably who doesn't listen to this show. I really hope not, because then she'll hear this story and be like, oh.
Now you know.
Yeah. So Dory's whale speech. Thanks for that, Dory.
No, man, Finding Nemo, it's a great choice. There's so many lines from that.
Yeah.
And that whale speech. It's real funny, people.
Oh, it's so good.
It's real funny.
I still sometimes do. Whenever I've gone whale watching or see whales, I always try to do the, where are you? I'll try and speak to them like that, and I'll be with friends Nathan, shut the fuck up. We're in public.
That's awesome, dude. So what are we up to? Number 3. Yeah. What am I going to choose? I know what I'll choose for the next one. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Ah, great
was on
choice.
my list of top 7 favorite movie moments. So the line that I've chosen is because shout out to Lachlan.
Oh, our friend Lachlan.
Shout out to our friend Lachlan.
Yeah.
I was never I wasn't into Monty Python when I was young. I hadn't seen any of their work, is what I'm trying to say.
Did this make your last top 7 list as well?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's right,
Monty Python and the Holy Grail was on my top 7 favorite film experiences.
Mm.
Lachlan, shout out to you. You introduced me to Monty Python, and the way he sold it to me was that he did the whole scene between King Arthur and his knights, between them and Tim the Enchanter. Before they go,
just riffed it in front of you.
He knew it all. Yeah, he was like,
wow.
"Dude, you got to watch this movie. It's so funny." My dad showed it to me, and he was laughing his head off, and he could barely get through the scene because he was laughing so much.
Mm-hmm.
But the line that he sold me, he said, and the funniest line is when they get down to the cave, basically where the rabbit is. Oh, no, sorry. No. It's in that first scene with Tim the Enchanter, and he says, and, it's huge, this thing, and it's got nasty, big, pointy teeth. And Lockie would, did the whole scene.
With the actions?
He did with all the actions and with everything, so over the top. To the point where,
and you're children, by the way. This is in primary school.
You could hardly, understand, basically, because he was laughing so much at the same time as he did it.
Yeah.
And he said, and then King Arthur just turns around and says, what an eccentric performance. That's my favorite line from the movie.
Do you say it in real life?
Sorry?
Do you say that in real life?
Yeah, dude. I say what an eccentric performance all the time. But it's my favorite line in the movie because I just have that memory of sharing it with Lockie. Oh. And then I watched that movie for the first time with Lockie at his house because he's like, you gotta watch.
Ah.
And so that line is just the line from the movie. I know it's just a flesh wound is one of the classics, the whole Black Knights. But
That's what means
that
the most
line,
to you.
that's like the one that just
that's great.
when I think
dude.
of that movie, I think of that, and I think of Lockie.
That's why you say that after we finish movies all the time. Like, it makes sense now.
What an eccentric performance.
Brenton just says that when we cut the podcast and we finish recording, Brenton just turns and be like, what an eccentric performance. And I'm like, buddy.
You're like, what?
What are you doing?
So yeah.
Fantastic.
Shout out to Lachlan.
Number 2 for me, it has to be The Emperor's New Groove.
Good choice again. And
be.
throwback to, again, top 7.
I would say there's a lot of
films.
crossover. But these lines, but now we get to dive into the lines and there's so many from Emperor's New Groove. I actually put 4 in here. There's a story about one of them, but I'll just list a couple of them. Actually, there's a couple of stories in here. I'll dive through them quick. One of my favorite lines is when Yzma and Kronk are about to have Kuzco over for bites, and they're gonna kill him with the poison, all that kind of stuff. And they finally make up their plan, and then Yzma raises her hands in her secret lab, and she shouts, "It's dinner time!" And the music's like, da 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 da. Like, do you remember this part?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man.
When she screams, "It's dinner time!" Literally every time I cook for myself, which is a lot, I always shout, "It's dinner time!" in the same way that Yzma yells it.
Because that's when it hard cuts to dinner, right?
It hard cuts to dinner.
Yeah.
Like when I cook for my family, when I visit them on the Gold Coast, or when I go to friends' houses and I cook for them, I always scream it like Yzma.
Oh my god!
And no one gets the reference.
Can you please do it?
It's dinner time! Da-da-da-da! Do that little sound effect after.
Oh man, that's great.
It's great. I every time I burn something in the kitchen, which is less frequent thankfully these days, but a lot when I first started, I always go, "Oh, my spinach puffs." When Kronk, he just runs out.
I always wanted to eat one of those spinach puffs.
They look
I gotta
great.
say, they look delicious.
My sister, she loves that line so much. This is a true story. She went out to Coles and bought spinach puffs deliberately so she could cook them and then say the line, "My spinach puffs."
It's brilliant writing. Who came up with spinach puffs for Kronk? It's perfect.
It's so good. When I was a child, all the time, after this film came out, if someone were to like brush me on the field when we were playing sport or something like that, like we're playing soccer or something like that, I get hit, I'd always go, "Not touchy, not touchy, not touch." And if my sister was trying to annoy me, she'd poke me at the breakfast table. I'd always be like, "Not touchy, not touch."
Oh my gosh, yes.
Said that all the time. But out of all of them,
I know what it's gonna be. I know what it's gotta be.
It's Yzma again. We're going.
I know what it's gotta be.
It's when she's planning. She makes her big plan for what she's going to do with Kuzco. They rock up in the lab, Brenton, and Yzma's thinking, "Oh, how they're going through all the different poisons and potions that they have," and and Yzma, she thinks to herself how she's going to do this, and I say this monologue to myself all the time, especially the line at the end, and it goes a little something like this, Brenton.
Take it away.
"How shall I do it? Oh, I know. I'll turn him into a flea, a harmless little flea, and then I'll put that flea inside a box, and I'll put that box inside another box, and then I'll mail that box to myself, and when it arrives, I'll smash it with a hammer!"
Dude, that's perfect. I love that moment in the movie. I love it so much. I turn him into a flea.
A harmless little flea. She's
oh my god.
The voice acting is just so on par.
But it's also the silhouette work that they do, with the action of what happens.
It's
the
great.
animation.
The
It's
animation,
perfect,
you just
dude.
see it happening. But every time I go to the post office, because I said I mumble to myself and when I put because I don't own envelopes in my house. Weirdly, I just buy them at the post office when I have to send out letters because I'm an old fashioned bloke. I like sending letters.
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah. I go to the post office and I look through all the packaging and I'm like, maybe I'll put that letter in a box, and I put that box inside of another box, and I launch into that monologue to myself and I mumble under my breath, and I'll be like, "I'll smash it with a hammer," and then someone will walk past and just see me muttering to myself, and I'm like, "Oh, that's right, I'm in a post office."
Dude, that's awesome. Great choice. I honestly thought it was going to be Pull the Lever Kronk. Because you say that a lot as well.
I do say that.
so
Yeah,
much.
but you and I, when we just have conversations, I do say that a fair bit.
But,
it is one. It's up there as well.
But the one you chose, I think, is great.
That monologue, I love it so much. That scene is just remarkable.
So moving on to the next one. It comes from When Harry Met Sally.
Oh, really?
From
You do love this film.
1994. I love this movie. So I got a couple.
Oh yeah.
And they're also monologues as well that I love. Well, actually, no, one of them's a monologue, but they're both from the same scene.
Oh, cool.
Have you seen When Harry Met Sally?
I have, yes.
Okay, good.
I got confused with it last time, but I'm back on board.
These are from the last scene.
Yes.
So this monologue's perfect because it's like the climax of the movie.
Mm.
That's also. I'm just going to go into it. I love that you get cold when it's 71 degrees out. I love that it takes you an hour and a half to order a sandwich. I love that you get a little crinkle above your nose when you're looking at me like I'm nuts. I love that after I spend the day with you, I can still smell your perfume on my clothes. And I love that you're the last person I want to talk to before I go to sleep at night. And it's not because I'm lonely, and it's not because it's New Year's Eve. I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
Oh.
It's like such a good line, dude.
It's just,
like perfect. It's like.
Have you said that to your girlfriend like regularly? Like
every day.
She's like, I don't crinkle my nose. She's like,
I don't eat sandwiches. What are you talking about?
What do you want, boy?
But the line that I've chosen, it's like that's like the lead into it.
Oh yeah.
And then they have the moment, and she goes, then she says like, it's impossible to hate you, and I love you, Harry. I love you. And then they kiss finally. And then after that, Harry, of course, just responds with it because Auld Lang Syne starts to play over, da 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 da, that old bloody song that I don't even know the lyrics to or what it's about. That always plays with New Year's in America.
Yeah.
So that starts playing, and then they have a moment where they're just looking at each other, and then Harry says, "What does this song mean? My whole life, I don't know what this song means. I mean, should old acquaintances be forgot? Does that mean that we should forget old acquaintances? Or does it mean that if we happen to forget them, we should remember them? Which is not possible because we already forgot them." And then Sally turns and says, "Well, maybe it just means that we should remember that we forgot them, or something." Anyway, it's about old friends.
Oh.
Man, that's such a good line. And it was like only the second time I watched it that I got it, because it was like, that was the climax of the movie. And it's kind of like I think it's kind of like what the movie's about. Like, it's like the summation of the whole movie.
It's just the whole thing, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it's like about old acquaintances because that's what they start as, like, and then it says it's about old friends because finally they've taken the step and they're more than friends. Which they should have just been from the start.
Yeah, from the very get-go.
And it would have been fine. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so representative about like how people just aren't like that though. Like they'll just make the wrong decisions.
Exactly.
And,
yeah. And it's funny because I think, like, in saying that whole speech, they actually say what the song's about. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, the whole movie's kind of about what the song's about. Like, yeah. And I just, it's just the perfect ending. Like, that screenplay, I think, is one of the best screenplays ever written. Right? When Harry Met Sally. For sure. I think it's like, because it defines a genre. It does. It defines the rom-com, that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Woody Allen invented it, but I think Harry perfected it.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
I think it's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch the movie if you haven't.
When Harry Met Sally.
When Harry Met Sally.
One of my faves.
Speaking of Harry, my number one.
Harry Potter. Ooh, Harry Potter.
Funnily enough, I laughed to myself, Brenton, when you started your list with Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, because it's how I'm topping my list.
Wow.
My number one comes from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. We'll do a Harry Potter episode at some point when the 20 years passes, but like, which has been a little while, but like, I love Chamber of Secrets. I adore it so much. Out of all the, because I'm like, I have to put Harry Potter in here. I have to, because my sister and I, we owned very little DVDs, but we owned the first three on DVDs for a very long time before.
Oh man, yeah.
Especially the first two, actually. No, we owned the first two for a while, and then we eventually got number three. It was very exciting. But the first two especially, we would just watch back to back night every weekend.
We were exactly the same. We had the first two for ages and didn't have any of the other ones. Yeah.
So we just kept on watching them on repeat because they're so good. And so we could quote the movie easily, those first two especially. And like, so many of the lines from the first two are iconic. There's great lines from all 8 films.
Yes.
But the first two especially. I chose Chamber of Secrets because this is actually themed on a character. And so, out of all the lines in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and there's great of them, the best character, in my opinion, in this film is Molly Weasley. Because you meet her for a little bit in the first one, but number 2 is where she gets a proper introduction and you actually figure out what she's about.
It's perfect.
And and Molly Weasley is just the best mum. She's just so perfect and just like, she's representative of exactly what mothers are like. Like, I love that she just like flips back and forth between nice and sweet, but then she'll like rip into the children at any second. Like, and
where have you been?
Yeah.
yeah.
And so, I've got 2 monologues from hers that I absolutely adore and I want to tell you both of them right now.
Oh, dude. Yes.
Actually, you know what, Brett? I want you to do them because I feel like out of the two of us,
Sure.
you could probably do a better Molly Weasley impression than me.
Pass me that monologue.
The
dude.
first, pass me that monologue. So the first one is exactly what you're about to launch in. Exactly what you're about to launch into. It's a dialogue between Molly and Ron, and it's when they've just rescued.
Oh my god.
It's when they've just rescued Harry.
Yep.
And they're sneaking into the house. You see the sewing needles all knit themselves, and they think they've gotten away with it. But then she just storms down the stairs, and she says this to Ron, and Ron talks back.
Where have you been? Harry, how wonderful to see you, dear. Bed's empty, no note, car gone. You could have died. You could have been seen. Course, I don't blame you, Harry dear. They were starving him, Mum. There are bars on his window. Well, you best hope I don't put bars on your window, Ronald Weasley. Come on, Harry. Time for a spot of breakfast. Now, I
Mate,
gotta
you
say,
nailed that.
it's perfect because it's like, it goes from that flitting thing of like, so angry at Fred, George, and Ron to, Harry, so lovely to see you.
So good to see you. Welcome to the house.
Well, you best hope I don't be putting bars on your window, Ronald Weasley. Oh, man.
That's right, because that's the first time you meet her in that film, and it's such a perfect introduction to that
And the way she
character.
just bangs on that counter. Like,
Exactly.
oh.
Oh, it's so great because, like, in Philosopher's Stone, like, she's only at the train station. She's very nice to them. Like, she's a little
Yeah.
bit confused about Fred and George's names, and like, she's just very sweetly. But here, you really see Molly Weasley for who she is. And-
I'm just remembering that scene from Philosopher's Stone. Run straight to the wall, don't stop. And then Ginny's only line, good luck.
Oh, doesn't she nail it though? It's
Oh, future wife.
no, future wife. But I love also in Chamber of Secrets after when she does that rant and then like they have brekkie and then Arthur Weasley comes home. He's like, "Morning, boys."
Yes. Oh my
and
god.
then they're all having chats and then like our Errol, I think its name is, like flies up to the window but then like smashes into it.
Yes. I
Oh,
remember
it's
all
crazy.
of this.
Bloody
man.
hopeless that one is.
Oh man.
And who-
So what's the second line?
the second line is from the most iconic speech I think perhaps from Harry Potter.
Wow.
And it's the Howler. Like,
Yes.
it's so good because it's funny because it comes up once and then in all 7 books it's never mentioned again. Like, or maybe it is, but like
the
it's
Howler, you mean?
like,
Or-
like the Howler, like the letter that Molly Weasley, or no, like a letter that can be sent that turns into someone ranting at someone else.
No, it's used.
Oh, no, 'cause Dumbledore sends it
uses
to
one on
Petunia.
Petunia. Yep,
Don't you wish that we had that scene? Like,
in the
can
film.
you imagine like Michael Gambon doing a Howler voice? Like, I can't.
What does he say? It's not the line. It's like remember.
Oh, remember because of what
Yeah.
she promised to Petunia or something
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I can't imagine Dumbledore yelling at Petunia. Like, it'd be a really weird scene.
Oh man, and like she just like crumples when she hears it.
Yeah.
Like, oh man,
It's like, oof, because she was getting ready to get rid of
I wish
Harry.
we'd seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much with the Dursleys that was cut from like the last few books that you just wish that they spend more time with. You know.
That's another great line. You know why today's good, Harry? It's Sunday. You know what Sunday means?
No post on Sundays. Ha! No letters today. Not one single bloody letter. Not one.
We're gonna go away, far away,
Where they can't find us. Oh
And then
man.
the card cuts to like them and like some like shack in the sea, and like its address is literally like shack in the sea. Like, it's just, how did the Dursleys get access to it? Because they had to like row a boat out there. It's like, how long were they going to stay there?
I think it's like it's so over exaggerated in the film as well.
yeah, because it's like a
it's like-
stormy night as well.
It's like on this single rock. Like it's kind of described as a little island in
Yeah.
the book. Whereas, like, there's no way that house would still be standing in the film.
no.
Like, it's crazy.
Also, he's got like a rifle on him. Like he's just got this gun.
and
like,
Hagrid just like bends it in half, like,
but he still shoots it.
and the bullet still goes through the roof. It doesn't like,
Yeah, it doesn't like just burst out the pipe. Like
Yeah.
it angles up. Like,
yeah,
it's great.
craziness.
Ah.
So this Howler speech,
This
man.
Howler speech, I want you to do it, Brenton. 'cause
Okay, yeah,
it's-
sure.
It's great. It's great. And like every time I see it, I quote this. It's my number one because whenever I get angry, I try not to yell at someone. So because you know, it's like when you're angry, it's not good to yell at someone in the moment because you probably say something you regret. I normally just like stomach it and just like recite the Molly Weasley speech because I'm like, oh, I'll be able to get away with this. I'll tell them how I feel when I'm less angry.
Okay, I was just having a quick read
Mm-hmm.
to familiarize myself with this one. Ronald Weasley! How dare you steal that car? I am absolutely disgusted. Your father is facing an inquiry at work, and it's entirely your fault. If you put another...
Toe.
If you put another what?
Toe out of line.
If you put another toe out of line, we'll bring you straight home. Oh, and Ginny, dear, congratulations on making Gryffindor. Your father and I are so proud.
Oh, well done, mate. Well done.
Oh.
Doesn't that feel good to just do?
It feels good to get that out of your system.
Imagine if you were genuinely angry at someone, and rather than yelling at them, you just do that speech.
Oh,
Like, it feels good, doesn't
it's
it?
a remedy.
It feels good. It is a remedy. Your last line.
Dude, that was a great line. I gotta say, good choice.
Thank you.
Molly Weasley, great character.
Molly Weasley, great
Again,
character.
shame we don't see more of her in the films.
I know. She's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
This is my number one. None of the other lines were number one. This, like, when we're numbered.
Okay.
This is number
But this
one.
is your number one.
And we're doing a throwback to top 7 favorite film experiences.
Oh, yes.
Because number one is Lord of the Rings.
The
Fellowship of the Ring.
I was wondering if it was going to
2001.
creep up.
So what's interesting is that I could have chosen lines from all 3 films. Obviously, there's Sam's monologue at the end of Two Towers, which is the one where he says, "'Cause there's good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for." That one. Or I could have chosen simply Aragorn's line from number 3, where he says, "For Frodo." And then he fucking charges the line. Yeah.
Like,
He's
yeah.
like, his eyes glaze over with tears, and he goes, "For Frodo." But the line I've chosen is from number 1.
Oh, yeah.
And this is again, it's like Forrest Gump. This scene makes me cry every
Oh, wow.
time. Yeah. So we cut the Uruk-hai attacking the Fellowship at the end of the film on the banks of the river. Frodo has managed to slide past them all, and he's standing on the banks of the river, staring across the river, knowing what he has to do. The ring is sitting on its chain in the palm of his hand. And we have this voiceover, which is a flashback to a previous scene in the film in Gollum's cave. In the Mines of Moria, I should say. But we have this flashback, and we just hear the voiceover of Frodo saying, "I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish none of this had happened." Pause. We then hear Gandalf the Grey coming over the top voiceover. "So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us."
Oh.
And then Frodo fucking grabs that ring, he puts it in his front pocket, and he charges that boat, and he jumps in and starts rowing across, and the music's
Off to
kicked in.
Mordor.
Off to Mordor by himself
Ah.
until Sam obviously chases him down to the river. But that moment, man, is
Oh.
perfect.
What a great moment. I
It
remember,
is-
yeah. I remember
It is perfect, that moment. It is like, it can't be beaten. And like the little, it kind of has like the cross dissolve to that flashback of Gandalf with like the changed lighting.
yeah.
And like at this point, like it's like Gandalf's dead as far
Yeah,
as
yeah,
we
yeah.
know. Like so, it's perfect.
It's wonderful.
The whole like, as I think I said this in the last season or 7, the whole like last 10 minutes from that moment to the end of the film is perfect. Like there's,
like, that's the perfection of cinema.
it's
like,
perfection. Like it's like it is like how to like instigate, like how to instigate emotion out of an audience. It's like perfect. I always like watch that last 10 minutes. Like I'll just watch it on YouTube. I'll be like, let's watch the last 10 minutes of Fellowship, and I'm just like, damn man,
it's great.
this just nails it. Yeah.
I remember being a powerful moment, like, when I saw it. Like, yeah, it's, you finish it, and it makes you want to marathon the others, because you're just like...
Exactly. Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, wow, and then you just want to leap into Two Towers, and then Return the King. Like, yeah, it's just... Yeah, what a good line.
That line though, I love that line too, because of just like the significance. It's a good line too. The significance of the line. It's applicable to life.
It
in
is.
general.
I must say, like,
Yeah.
this means a lot to you probably because it's like advice for life.
Yeah,
essentially,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frodo. I can't do a good Gandalf, actually.
No, only
Yeah,
Ian
Frodo.
McKellen can
Yeah.
really. Yeah,
Yeah, Frodo. Like, yeah,
I love
can't-
his like little bumbles at the start of that film. Like he was always like, yes, and he's got his pipe in his mouth. Yeah,
Oh, you have the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. He's always
Yeah.
like sounds like he's got something in his mouth. Like,
yes, yeah.
Oh, Frodo. Quick to the mines of Mortier. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
And then when he unleashes, though, he just unleashes with his like this huge booming voice.
Oh yeah. You shall not pass.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh man.
Ian McKellen.
Yeah. So that's
There
how,
you go.
Holy crap, man! That was fun.
That's great. What a great list you've got. Should we do that thing where we like have to recommend something, or like just recommend all of them. Like, remember the last time you and I were like, oh, pick one and then do that? Like,
Oh yeah, let's do that.
should we do that? Out of let me see your list. Actually, no,
Sure.
I remember what you said.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. What, I think the Johnny Cash film, out of everything, that's the one now I want to watch.
Most
the
intrigued.
most.
Yeah. Out of yours, you've got a lot of good ones.
Oh, thank you.
I'm trying to think because there's like nostalgia, and then there's like ones that I'm like,
Out of everything, I think you should watch. I think you should see the Robin Williams.
well, I want to go home. My thing is, I want to go home and watch that scene straight away.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say that, but I'd also say that, to be honest, like the Emperor's New Groove again, it's still got a soft space in my heart. But I'll say Night in the Museum 3. I'm just gonna go home and watch that.
Just
scene
watch
now.
that scene. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Watch it privately. Like allow yourself to have a moment afterwards
Yeah.
because like it's powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. And watch Walk the Line, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to watch it with you sometime.
Oh,
just
fantastic!
like, you know,
how old is it?
2005. So we can't.
Oh,
we
yeah,
can't
it's a fair while off.
It's
Like,
a fair
yeah,
while
we'll
off.
have to watch
but,
this for us rather than the show.
but it's worth a watch.
nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right.
Man,
Well,
classic movie banter.
we're in
Seasonal
another
sevens.
season. We're in happy summer in Australia. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, sorry for all the snow.
But I love doing these.
I love doing these too, buddy. It's
Yeah,
great. We get a
man.
break from all the old movies. We get to just talk about what we love, why we
Yeah.
love cinema, Brenton.
Oh, it's a wondrous thing, cinema.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
next week we'll do something else. we'll go
do-
back to our movies.
We'll do just something else.
Yeah.
We'll find something to
We'll
talk
find
about.
a bloody old film that's worth bonking on about. Like, yeah.
Or maybe it's not, and we'll talk about that
Yeah.
too.
Oh, by the way, did you see that Robin Hood bombed the new one?
Did it actually?
Made no money.
Guys, just go watch Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Watch
Just go
Kevin
do it.
Costner. It's great. It's great. All right.
Alrighty,
I'll
guys.
see you next time, Brenton.
Farewell.
Farewell.
Have a good week.
Goodbye.
Bye!